Hello! Yes, it's me again for the next part of the reading of the Shadow Effect by Deepak Chopra, Debbie Ford, and Marianne Williamson. As some of you may have seen the other two videos that I made, I am reading part 2 of this book entitled Making Peace with Ourselves, Others, and the World. And as I mentioned already in the other two videos that I already read, the other two videos, the parts that I read were the most boring part as far as I'm concerned of this part 2. Today I'm going to start reading the interesting part. Well, what I find interesting. So today I'm reading page 85. If you have the book, I'm going to start reading here, page 85 at the bottom of the page. And I'm going to read page 86 up to the top of page 87. And then I'll stop there. Some of you may have noticed that I am not a native speaker. So I'm a French native speaker, which is why I have this weird accent when I speak English and I read English. But I hope you can still understand what I say. So starting on page 85, all right, you can relax and I'm going to read this to you. The great Swiss psychologist Carl Jung tells us that our shadow is the person we would rather not be. The shadow can be seen in the person of our family, whom we judge the most, the public official whose behavior we condemn, the celebrity who causes us to shake our head in disgust. If we understand this correctly, we come to the startling and sometimes sobering realization that our shadow is everything that annoys, horrifies, or disgusts us about other people or about ourselves. With that wisdom in hand, we begin to see that our shadow is all that we try to hide from those we love and all that we don't want other people to find out about us. Our shadow is made up of the thoughts, emotions, and impulses that we find too painful, embarrassing, or distasteful to accept. So instead of dealing with them, we repress them, seal them away in some part of our psyche, so we won't have to feel the burden and shame they carry with them. Poet and author Robert Bly describes the shadow as an invisible bag that each of us carries around on our back. As we're growing up, we put in the bag every aspect of ourselves that is not acceptable to our families and friends. Bly believes we spend the first few decades of our life filling up our bag, and then the rest of our life trying to retrieve everything we've hidden away. I'll just make a pause here because I forgot to put this is what we're doing today. Yes. Our shadow, filled with rhetoric and a hypocritical set of rules that we can never adhere to, leads us to glorify some and demonize others. It began with the teacher who called us stupid, the bully who taunted us, or the first love who ever abandoned us. We have all hidden away and repressed pain-filled, shame-filled moments, and over time, these emotions harden into our shadow. These are the unexpressed fears, the horrifying shame, the knowing guilt. These are all the issues of the past that we have never faced. Our shadow might stem from one defining moment, and most do, or it can accumulate over years of denial. As the shadow takes shape, we begin to lose access to a fundamental part of our true nature. Our greatness, our compassion, and our authenticity get buried beneath the parts of ourselves that we've disconnected from. Then our shadow gains the upper hand. It can trick us into believing that we are too unworthy, incapable, undeserving, unlovable, or stupid to be the superstar of our own life. It is our dark side, the repressed and disowned aspects of our personality that cuts us off our true self. The fact is that whatever we have hidden away in shame or denied out of fear holds the key to unlock a self that we feel proud of, a self that inspires us, a self that is propelled into action by great vision and purpose, rather than one that is created out of our limitations and the unhealed wounds of our past. This is why we must explore our shadow. This is why we must unveil and reclaim our whole self, our true nature. This is why we must look inside. This is why we must look within to examine the underpinnings of our life. Hidden here is the blueprint, a template, a vision of our authentic self. I'm stopping here, but I'm wondering if I should start reading the rest that I will read another time. No, I will read the rest another time. So that was the third reading that I was doing of this part of the shadow effect. And yes, as I mentioned in the previous videos, I would like to start a book club discussion in the Facebook group called the League of Liberation of Monsters. I'm not sure when this is going to happen, but that's one of the book clubs that I'm setting up. And then I also mentioned in my other videos, I also want to read this one, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers from Debbie Ford, because apparently, and I haven't read it yet, but apparently in this book, there's some practical exercises, methods that we can use to make peace with the shadow part of our personality. And I also started reading parts of this book, The 5 Personality Pattern. So I have three series of book clubs in English, and then I have this one in French also that I want to start. But for today, that's it. So yeah, if you'd like to participate in the conversation, then join the Facebook group League of Liberation of Monsters, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. That's it for today. I'm trying to make these videos short so it doesn't take you too long to watch them. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get that book so you can read it for yourself.